Alright, and it looks like we're live. What is up, kids and cubs? Welcome back. I'm the Wolverine114, and we are back playing some more of my new favorite game of all time, Devil May Cry 5. Last time we beat the campaign, then we started New Game Plus. And now we're just gonna keep going in. We also are doing the live action cutscenes. Let me turn down the game just a tad bit, because I'm not gonna really be as loud right now. Considering how late it is. But yeah, we just started playing as V. We're on the second mission of V. And it's fun. Oh my, that's a thing that's going on. These live action cutscenes are the best. Excuse me. Yeah, we had just defeated the Nidhogg. And now we're trying to get to the Devil Sword Sparta, and also to Dante. We rescued Lady. How much is there really to customize for Could get the vigor upgrade. Vigor upgrades for both. It's an idea. Whoa. Ah. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the vigor upgrades for these two. That way they won't die as easy. Although at the same time, I hope that doesn't carry over into the boss battle with them later on. I mean, I already know they're gonna be harder, but with more upgrades. Ugh. Yeah, and summoning Nightmare in some locations will reveal hidden areas. Like that one time that I summoned him out of the wall.
Now to find an exit.
Of course. Oh god. Why am I running in? The whole point of B is to not run in. Unless needed. Like that. Yeah, Nightmare. Thank you. Perfect. Perfetto. Fwoosh.
Can't move forward without breaking through these.
You do your thing, Shadow. I like the progressive, like, partially the progressive difficulty in this game, and also just the progressive landscapes that just continuously change and alter with what you do. Well then. Thank you. Ooh. More devil trigger orbs. Already got one down. Also, I didn't realize before, but the names of all three of these, like, I had picked up on one of them, but I didn't realize the other two were also part of it. All three of these guys were bosses in DMC 1. Probably the closest one that to the actual boss in DMC 1 would be Shadow here, who was just a Shadow Lion in DMC 1. But yeah, we got like Nightmare, we got Griffon, like all of them are boss names from DMC 1, which I didn't realize until someone had pointed it out in a YouTube video that I watched. Oh shit. Oof.
At your pleasure, pierce through.
Is that a glowy thing? I don't believe so. I think that's just the lighting. Yeah, no, that's just the lighting.
I need you. Die.
This ship is awfully big.
Pierce through.
I also like just how varied the combat is, like, even with V, who, like, hardly changes much throughout the time that you play as him. Like, not much actually changes in way of, like, how you, like, not much changes in the gameplay itself, but it still feels so varied that you never really get bored of it. At least I don't. Someone else might, but I do not. Ah, damn, there were so many red orbs there. His fucking leg got in the way. What the hell are you fighting? You're not fighting anything that... Well, you're not fighting anything. Why weren't you doing what I was telling you to do? Oh well. There's the Impusa Queen. Alright, hold on. One quick moment. Okay, I'm back. Nightmare, help. Ow. Asshole. Oh, that works. Oh god, I lost Griffon. I was trying to do some Griffon abilities and it wasn't working because he was dead at the time. Alright, come back, Griffon. There we go. Uh-oh. That sounds big. Ah!
There must be an escape route.
Oh, come on. Hey Les, how you doing? Hope you've been enjoying your very fun night. Ah? Trying to sober up, yeah. Ooh, 3 bottles is... That's just insanity. I don't know how the hell you are still able to function, much less have rational thought. Too much. Yeah. Yeah. I've never really had more than a buzz, just because, I don't know, I've never really wanted to get drunk. Just never really been interested in that. So I don't really know what kind of effect it would have on me, but
This way,
that was insanity. I started drinking at like 2. Oh, okay. So it's not like you had all of those within the span of like a couple hours. It was more like 10 hours. Which still is a lot, but not as bad. Not as bad as potentially originally sounded. These things. I hate these things. Ow, assholes. Oh god. Not at all. I'd be in the hospital. Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Like, holy shit, how are you, like, drinking that much and are still alive? Much less chilling in people's Twitch streams. One out of 3. Oh, 2 out of 3. Awesome. Last one. I like that laser ability. Oh god, Shadow's down. Oh, that's a bad. Okay, pick up Shadow. There we go. How's DMC going for me? I love this game. This is probably one of my favorite games ever. Definitely game of the year for me. So far. Like, it barely beats out Resident Evil 2 by like a hair. Because I love both of these games so much, but this just, like, Hideki Itsuno, who is the director for this game, and he was the director for DMC 3 and 4 as well. Like, he basically gave the fans everything they've ever wanted in a DMC game in one game. And, like, and it didn't feel like overload either. It feels like it's a natural game. It's probably gonna have some DLC. And it's probably gonna have sequels. I mean, it's definitely gonna have sequels. But it doesn't feel like they're doing it unnecessarily. And it doesn't feel like a cash grab. And also just just replaying these missions is still fun. The developer cutscenes, which is a secondary thing that I got for the deluxe edition, is those are just incredible. Because it's live action cutscenes that they used for framing the game. The gameplay is just so smooth, the story is so great. But the developer cutscenes are like funny and crazy, and looks like they were filmed on a budget of $3 because they really didn't need it to be good. They were just setting the framework for what they wanted the game to be. You can customize the different battle tracks. Like, there's so much customization you can do in this game. And it's all so fun and all feels natural to the series. I hate that they make you pay for extra DLC. I wish it would all be included. Well, like, the thing is, this game doesn't need DLC, but they could do it if they want to. This is a full game right here that's, like, has content and it's fun and, like, has everything that a game should have.
Hey.
It's just they could also do extra if they wanted to. And, like, it wouldn't really be like it wouldn't be like one of the Husk games that AAA developers have been throwing out. I don't know if you were here last night when I went on my little rant about AAA games. But like a lot of the AAA game companies have been releasing basically husk games where it's like, here's a little bit of content, and then you can get the rest of the game in DLC. And it's like, you're not paying $60 just to get a husk to fill up with more money. Like, that's not the way how this is supposed to work. I might as well grab that. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll grab that too. Yeah, it's just a money rack when they do that, right? It's like, that's what they're doing with Anthem. That's what they did with Destiny. That's kind of what they did with Black Ops 4. Like, the biggest people who, the two biggest companies that do that the most and are the worst offenders in that are EA and Activision. Almost every single game that they release is like that. By the way, this is the live action cutscenes that I was talking about. Looks like a very bad fan film. But oh my god, that's their Melphus. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is incredible. I love every second of this. EA's horrible at adding DLC. That should have been in the games to begin with, right? Like, they're doing the exact same thing with Anthem. Like, that's exactly what they're doing with Anthem. They're like... Like, that's exactly what they're doing with Anthem. They released, like, a bit of a game, definitely not worth $60. Like, 40 at the max. Yeah, like, as soon as EA took over like, that's one thing I hate about EA is the fact that they literally take developers. They take their games, they buy out the developers, and then just gut the games themselves. Take away basically everything that made the game good in the first place. And limit the developers like crazy. Like, and they kill the developer, honestly. Like, they've killed several developers using that exact same tactic. And I think they're doing the exact same thing with BioWare, because, I mean, just look at Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem. Then look at the previous Mass Effect games before EA bought them out. Even EA themselves used to be a good video game company, and then I think they just stopped caring. It's difficult to say for sure, like, what exactly happened, but Like, at some point, EA just stopped caring. Ow. Ah, fuck. They killed Shadow. I don't really know how to call back Shadow. Really quickly. But it's just kind of sad. It kind of matter at Witcher because you don't. If you don't start with the DLC, you have to restart the game or play it as a standalone. I've never played the Witcher series, so I don't really have much of a take on that. Shit. Ah, damn it.
Still on my side. Enjoy the taste of this.
I haven't heard that many bad things about CD Projekt Red, though. From what I usually hear, The Witcher is, like, pretty decent game. But again, I've never played it, so I don't really have a take on it. But from what it sounds like, it sounds kind of similar to what Fallout 3 did with the, what was it, Broken Steel DLC or something? I forget what it's called. But basically, once you finish the game, you have to restart it normally, but then that DLC lets you play it further. At least that's what it sounds like from what you're explaining. Oh, it just killed both of them. Okay. Alright, bring him back to life and bring down Nightmare. Oh shit, Shadow. I don't know an effective way to call back Shadow fast. I like when games do DLC as genuinely extra content rather than rather than filling in an unfinished game. Like, that's why I would be fine if they did DLC for this game, because, like, the game itself is already good enough. It doesn't need DLC. But if they wanted to give me extra content, I would pay for it.
Clock can measure.
Of course, the extra content has to be worth it. Like in DMC4, they released basically 2 more story modes, one for Virgil and one for Lady and Trish. On top of their already very long story mode. I didn't play Fallout either, but it seems like they got all money hungry and skipping on time. It's not that they skipped on content. It's that well, they did skip on content, but they skipped on bug patching, which, like, they cut corners on a lot of places, and Fallout 76 really shows that. Like, they really cut a lot of corners, and it ended up really, really coming to light in terms of, like, a lot of bugs showed up. And they cut back on the canvas bags and instead replaced them with nylon bags, which, you know, if you pay for a canvas bag and you get a nylon bag, that's like at least a $50 difference. And like to basically blatantly lie to people right to their face about that kind of stuff, and like, and then not even really include the whole like power armor thing that they did, and like they skipped out on a lot of stuff that ended up kind of biting them. And then they didn't deal with it right. Hey Calf, how you doing? Like the way how they handled the whole situation just kind of felt immature. Like, hey, you paid for a canvas bag, right? Well, here's a bag that's like a lot cheaper made and a lot cheaper material, and we'll give you $5 in return. Really? $5? $5? Really? Ay. About to go to bed, wanted to stop by. Well, it's always great to have you, Calf. You scared me with the raid earlier, because you raided me at the final boss of the game, so I was like, oh my god, an 11-person raid, that's crazy! Shit, I'm spoiling the game for 11 people! How's your day been, Calf? See, I could use a couple more punchlines. Oh, nope. Alright, yeah, that should be... Oh, I was requested by who? That whoever did that was very sweet. And I definitely appreciated it. That was insane, and I loved it. I was just terrified for a minute. Oh. Well, that's nice. I'll have to thank her. But yeah, no, I was like super excited, and then my heart sank because I was like, oh shit, this is major spoilers. That was your biggest raid. Oh, that was my biggest raid. I don't think I've ever been raided with... Oh, wait, maybe Navi raided me once with like 15. I can't remember. But yours was up there. And thank you a lot for that. Fun Day Sunday was a hot? Oh yeah? What happened? How was it? Oh god, how's this live action cutscene gonna go? Cause isn't this the... Oh, you got 13 from Jolo, nice. Isn't this the... Is this the one with the nudity? Cause in the game, they have very, was a hit, not okay. Means the same thing. These cutscenes are amazing. There's one cutscene where there's quite a bit of Miss Lady shown. But there's very, very specifically placed lens flares just to just make it very close but not quite horrible. So I'm wondering how that's gonna work in live action. It's probably just not gonna be like that. Honestly, this boss is not that bad. At least he wasn't before. Oh god. Oh no! I pressed the wrong button! Damn it! Why is Nero's devil trigger so weird? I like that they basically turned Nero into, like, a little bit into Dante, but enough to be, like, not that bad, and still fit Nero's character. Dante being the Dante from the DMC reboot, who wasn't really Dante, so everyone just calls him Dante. I mean, he was supposed to be Dante, but he wasn't Dante.
Slicey, slicey.
Oh, damn it. Yeah. Basically. Ah! Send me up. Oh god. Slicey, slicey. Oh fuck. Also, this thing has a giant penis. I'm just gonna point that out. It's very obvious. It's very out there. There's only one marker I haven't hit. It's this one. Alright, Calf, I don't know if you're gonna be streaming tomorrow, but I'm off tomorrow, so if you are, I'll be able to catch it, hopefully, if I don't oversleep. And if not, I'll see you around, and I hope you have a good night. I mean, I hope you have a good night anyway, but... You are awesome, and thank you. Gotta be up in 45 minutes to get my husband up for work, so I'll probably go to bed after he leaves. Alright, cool, so you'll be sticking around for a little while. Oh god, what is it doing? Oh right, this is the... Fucking live action Griffon is the best thing ever. Yeah, that's what I titled the stream. Live action Griffon is best Griffon. Oh shit, what just... Oh, Luis, thank you for the host! You are amazing! One second. Sorry about that. Oh my god, I started with a taunt. And beat the shit out of it. Yeah, that did not really do much. Huh. Come on, oh god. Ooh boy. Ah! Hey, what's up, Luis? How are you this fine evening? Oh god. Also, I learned something really cool about Dante when I get to play him again. Specifically, the Cavalier weapon. It has a lot more versatility than I originally assumed. So that's... I wanna try that out again and see if I can't do any better with it. After Dark Souls, pause buttons are hard to get used to again, right? It's like, oh right, pausing is a thing in video games that Dark Souls didn't have. You know, one of the biggest video games of all time didn't have a pause function. Woohoo! Oh god, oh god. Game bugged, game bugged, game bugged. That's the first, like, big bug I've encountered in this game. There we go, that's the button I wanted, but it's about to not be good. Okay. I'm doing alright. Just kinda chilling around. And, playing New Game Plus of Devil May Cry 5, which is my new favorite game. Just barely beating out the Resident Evil 2 remake. Capcom is fucking dominating right now. And these cutscenes are the best thing ever created. Ever. It's alternate developer cutscenes that they use to frame out the game. Basically like a storyboard for what they wanna make. It plays out like a $5 budget fan film. Oh, they took out the joke from that scene. I love the, or I guess they added the joke. They didn't originally have it. But they ended up adding in that joke of like he goes to pick up like a can of peaches and she's like, no, not that one. And he goes to like pick up something else. He's like, no, the one next to it. He's like, this thing? Okay. It's one of my favorite jokes in the game. I guess that was just added in later. Okay, she's clothed. It should be okay. I was worried because in the original game she's naked under the blanket and then very well placed lens flares cover her up just enough. That has a lot more meaning when you realize... When they realize... you realize who V actually is. And the kind of history that's there. Not too much more of a meaning, but... enough of one to be like... Okay. I just wonder how the hell they're gonna do that scene in live action. But that's a long way off. Yeah, this is the cutscene.
先に進むには道を広げるしかない。突貫工事だ。とりあえず何か着るものを貸してくれる？
There was very well placed lens flares during that scene. Ooh, I can play as V or Nero. I think I played as Nero the first time, so I'm gonna play as V this time. I'm gonna go with the other options to vary up the gameplay a little bit, just a little bit. I don't really have a ton of red orbs in the grand scheme of things. 36,000 is a lot early in the game. At this point, that would buy like one thing. Yeah, I figured might as well, you know, New Game Plus, change it up just a tiny little bit. Nothing majorly severe, but enough to make a difference. Yep, I know, I've fought like 20 of them already. Also, V is a lot easier to play than the other characters because of his indirect gameplay style. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Oh, shit, I just realized what I'm playing as. I didn't realize I was on top of Nightmare, and I'm like, how am I not doing things, and why isn't Nightmare just utterly wrecking? And then it's like, oh, because I'm controlling Nightmare. It's hard to tell when everything's black. Alright, there we go. Making the game nice and smooth.
Amazing here. Still gotta search every corner.
Every corner.
Indeed.
I like the surfing I can do on like the surfing you can do with Shadow. It's very fun. Good way to move around. Ooh, just had a bit of my accent come out there. Move around. Been spending too much time down here. this thing. This is a thing. And at this point, Nero would be in the subway. V is not. He is still on the ground. Hey, Deadlift, how you doing? Sounds like me. What, the accent? I've been spending too much time down here in South Carolina. I want to go back to New York so bad. And goodbye. How you doing, Deadlift for Chips? Oh, I'd gotten a double S rank. Of course, it's easier to get combo ranks as V. Oh, hello. Oh god. Oh, you're from North Carolina. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. North and South Carolina, especially at my part of South Carolina, really sound very similar. Just watching a few streams before bed. Sounds like a good plan. I always like watching. I like watching streams, and being a part of stuff. So, I like how it feels less lonely, I guess, than just than say if you just like watch YouTube, which I do that a lot too, and sometimes I just kind of need my alone time and I'll watch YouTube instead. But sometimes I just want to be around people, and I like how Twitch is a good way to do that. Lived there a year. A year was too long. What'd you hate about it? And it's don't be afraid to hold back, because I don't really like it down here either. But I'm just curious. Ooh, stabbed him in the throat as he fell down. Smoking sexy style. Ooh. Nice triple S rank right there. Love me some smoking sexy style. Myrtle Beach, ooh. Myrtle Beach is a good vacation spot, not a good living spot. What did you run into down there? Because I've heard some crazy stories about Myrtle Beach.
This way.
This way. Hey! This is the first time I'm actually, like, running into another player. Because the cool thing about this game is they kind of have a multiplayer system where you can just run into people who are just playing the other characters, which I think is awesome. Like, I just ran into the guy who's playing Nero. If I can just... There we go. What's up here? Oh, just that. Okay, cool. Where did Nero go? Did Nero abandon me? A good vacation spot now. It's gotten rough there. Oh damn! I haven't been there since like 2007, so not really know much. Stayed home mostly because it was just rough. Oof. I don't know where my Dante, or not Dante, I don't know where my Nero went, but he went off on his own. Ooh, boy, that is some combos for fucking days. Yeah, no, I just went down there for some mini golf. That groups are worse. Always someone getting murdered or fights. Really didn't feel safe to go near the beaches. Ugh. Yeah, no, I went there in like 2007 or 6 for mini golf, and that was it. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but I guess it's not the same place. It's kind of sad. That's actually really sad. Like, cause it used to be such a nice vacation spot, and then now it's like, whoa. Okay, hold on. Before I keep being sad, I just realized something. Oh, these work. You never see these work in games. They're normally just like a barricade, but like these actually work. That is a nice little touch of detail there that I really appreciate. Sign where they cover it up well, but it's not the spot for vacation. That's really sad. Like, And never to live, yeah, no. It wasn't really a living spot when I went down there either. It was just kind of like, yeah, you can stay here for a little bit, but not too long. And now it just seems even worse. That's sad. I hate to see that happen. I could skewer. I hate when, like, places that used to be good end up, like, becoming really run down and really dangerous. Like, I'm from Michigan. Once upon a time, Detroit was still rough, but it wasn't as rough as it is now.
Glyphon has grown this large. How much blood has been sacrificed? Reap what you sow. Now get to work. Into the
trying to make Griffon do some attacks, but he kept missing. That was probably a little overkill. Or not. Maybe it won't kill it at all. Have I been misjudging how powerful that attack is? Too cold there for you? I've lived practically everywhere. Nowhere is too hot or cold for me. I've lived in tundras, I've lived in deserts. And everything in between. It's good though, because it gives you more perspective on life, and get to see things from a lot of different people's point of view, rather than just kind of being stuck in one spot and like having the mentality of the area. Gives you a lot of different points of view and different perspectives. No, just moved around. Just sometimes it was work, sometimes it was family, sometimes it just needed a change of scenery. We never really stayed in one place for too long. And it wasn't really for any sort of reason in particular. It was, why is it? Yeah, like, there was pros and cons to it all, obviously. I don't know what the hell just happened there. Like, the pros were I got to see a bunch of different places and get different perspectives and different points of view, but at the same time, the cons were I never really had a place to call a hometown. I never really had a place that was like, this is my home. I never really got to grow up with people. So you did as good too to stay on the East Coast? Yeah, no, I was all over all of the coasts. I've lived everywhere from New York City to San Diego, California. Ah, damn. This Dante isn't very, stylish. To say the least. I feel like I'm carrying a lot of this battle here. And flat. Aw, damn.
This will sting a little.
Yep. Sometimes I wish I had just kind of stayed in like at least a general area growing up, so that I had like, you know, somewhere to kind of call home. But at the same time, I'm very fortunate to have had the experiences that I had, and to have done the things that I did, and learned what I learned, because otherwise I would be a very different person. Family finally settled here when I was 11 or so. North Carolina's home. I've never been in one place, like even now I've never really been in one place for more than 4 years. Longest I ever stayed in one place was for high school. And that I started when I was in 10th grade. So my life has just kind of been a series of constant moves. But at the same time, like I don't know what it's like to have lived in one place for so long that it just like I don't really know what it's like to have lived in one place for so long that like I just completely know the area, or that like like I'm just always used to change, and it's weird for me to think like someone could stay in one place for like 10 years. That's like, it might drive me insane. But then at the same time, I'm like, I could see settling down in a place like New York City or something. Place that's like, there's always something to do. There's always something to explore. It's never just, some people aren't meant to stay still in one spot. Yeah, I can't stop moving. It's weird, but I appreciate my experience. This is so weird. I like how there was just a person underneath the thing to make it look like a house. There's just a person lying there. You're 22 years except for the 1 year I was in South Carolina. That is, like, that's just, that's unfathomable to me, I guess. Inconceivable. Incomprehensible. That's probably a better term. Like, it just doesn't, I would not be able to do that. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna rate that guy, because he just kind of stood there and shot his gun a lot, and then did a couple sword swings. Meanwhile, I'm doing all the flashy shit. Like, it's... I don't know, I feel like I'd get bored of a place if I just stayed there for so long. Without, like, anything new. Honestly, I like this Nico better than the actual in-game Nico. I don't like moving, but definitely want to travel west, visit and see new things. It's definitely a lot different than probably anything you're used to. But it's definitely worth doing if you have the chance, because getting that kind of experience and learning different, like, new places, meeting new people, getting new perspectives, it's all just it's all very it's enlightening. Like, moving to New York changed literally my entire worldview, because I kind of used to be a sexist, racist piece of shit, and then I was also like 2 steps left of Alex Jones. And then I moved to New York, and I met a lot of new people who I normally would have thought would be not suitable for my kind of environment. A lot of people I thought were evil or sinful or like constantly scheming, and I got to actually meet those kind of people, and it changed everything that I had thought I had known, because it was very, very different. Going to bed, dude. You have a good rest of your stream. Dozing in and out. No problem, man. You have a good night's rest. You sleep up. You rest well. I'll probably still be streaming this tomorrow too. I cannot get enough of this game. You lived in New York when you were 5. Oh, so you haven't been in oh wait. You're older than 22, right? I would assume so. Let's throw another tomboy back there. Actually, no. I wanna leave a spot open. Picking up breakers. You're 33. Okay, so there's like 10 years unaccounted for there, or 11. But yeah, like getting to move there and meeting new people from different walks of life, different religions, different ethnicities, different worldviews, different like gender identities, different sexual identities. It opened my eyes to basically the world, how it is, and I don't know. It was very eye-opening for me. I think everyone should have that kind of experience if they can.
Alright. Just you wait, you big bastard. I'll drag you all the way down.
Whew. I think I'm getting better at these combos. Now that I have basically a whole arsenal to work with. I lived in New York, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, different parts of North Carolina, Maryland. Was having fun growing up, seeing new things, but glad we settled finally and got roots. Yeah, the whole like, oh, but that's great. I'm glad you managed to find a place you really liked and are happy. But like the whole like getting roots concept, just I don't understand it. I guess I've never had that experience. I don't know what that's like. Oh, damn. Alright, well now I got a whip. So that's all fine and dandy. Oh, is this guy kind of like... Aha, this guy's got kind of a Black Panther kind of thing going for him, where the more I hit him, the more energy he builds up to where he will unleash it and get armor. Not everyone does, and that's a different kind of root. It's Gypsy's blood. Yeah, except to say anything about gypsies around here, and they're kind of super, super anti-gypsy down here, which I don't really like prejudice of any kind, so it irks me a lot of a wrong way. Hey, Sopa Boy, how are you doing tonight? Oh, I hate that Nero is the only one with a different way to activate this ability, rather than it's a different button to use the same meter as V and Dante. Yeah, you were in Jolo's stream, right? Trying to come up with excuses for not going to class tomorrow. You should go to class, man. It's the thing about going to class. You don't want to do it at the time, but it will come in handy later. Take this as someone who tried every excuse in the book to get out of class and not go to class. I ended up getting super far behind because I would do that, and I ended up paying for it later on, and it was not good. I just mean moving around, seeing new things. Lots of hate for everything everywhere nowadays, right? It's like, but yeah, like my mom used to say, yeah, we just got gypsy blood, you know, because we move around a lot. It's like that was just a saying. And she started saying it around here, and like even some of her close friends started like being like, "What? Excuse me?" And it was like, "What? What's wrong?" And they're like, "We don't associate with gypsies around here." And it's like, okay. Good to know where the bigot train starts. Alright, no problem, Les. I'm assuming it's gotten to the point where you gotta wake up your husband to go to work.
Where does this go?
Because that was about 45 minutes ago. So. Whoosh! Through the bloodstream. Get all dirty and mucky and covered in blood. Yeah.
Blood all over me. Better shower.
Ow. Ragtime is so good because they literally can't do anything. It's just a constant stun lock. Fortunately, it doesn't work on all enemies. But most enemies. Basically anything except for a boss it works on. But then sometimes the bosses are the ones you need to work the most on. I'm not looking forward to fighting whatever the hell that thing's name was. I know I just brought it up earlier, but I can't remember what it is now. Shit.
Still falling?
No, wrong button! Why is Nero the one that's different? I'm just so used to hitting the trigger button as L1 But for Nero, L1 is, yeah, let me just break my arm. And it's like, I needed that. And the trigger is just any D-pad button, and it's like, what? Why?
Damn, all the way down. Too heavy, huh?
Ow, hey, asshole. Ooh, boy. So how was your day, Soper Boy? Do anything cool or exciting? Or, honestly, it's a question to anybody. Anyone who might be watching. Wah.
Alright. Going down is the only way, huh?
I feel like I'm missing a lot, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, this thing. I already fought a bunch of you. But not one next to an Angelo Knight. That's a new combo. Okay, I'm breaking the Mega Buster. It's not what I need right now. I love the devil trigger breakers. So much cooler. Ah! Oh shit. We both hit each other. Come on, you asshole. Die already. I hate Son of Sparta Angelo Knights. Way too powerful. Finally. Yeah. That took way too long. Oh. I know it exploded over there, but sounded like it didn't have a good time.
This again. Where's he gonna take me now?
that cutscene. We know how flying through a tube of blood works. I mean, we've all done it at some point. Got this bad boy over here, which makes me worried. Can't remember what comes after this, but hoping it's nothing too crazy. Just in case, I'm gonna add a punchline and a a tomboy. You know, I realized you can't really get gold orbs too easy in this mode. Gotta kind of rely on the red orb resurrection system. I don't think I've seen a single gold orb, actually, in this mode, which is a little worrisome.
Well, haven't had enough yet.
No! Oh god, this got dropped down real quick. Damn it. I was trying my hardest. Wasn't working. Oh god, one of you. Hi, how you doing? Ow. Alright, come here, asshole. Hey, Liz. Had to go wake up the hubby. Oh shit, that looked cool. That looked cool as fuck. Ow. That's a new one. Oh, slicing him in the mouth, I think, gives me red orbs. He had to go to work. Crazy hours. I bet if he's going to work at 1 a.m., jeez. What kind of hours does he have? What does he do? That's weird. I'm assuming he takes the night shift, but 1 a.m.? That's a weird time to start. Ah, that's how I get distance on it. That's how you get the most distance. Let's see. Does it work? Yeah, that's probably how I would have gotten over to there. He's a trucker, so if he gets a load that's far away, he's got to get there on time. Ah. Yeah, truckers have really weird hours. My dad was a trucker for a little while. Gotta...
No express elevators? Someone's a lousy architect.
He's home every day. That's good. My dad was sometimes home every day. Sometimes he'd have to go so far out that he wouldn't be able to make it back in time. Or he'd just be so exhausted. But my dad wasn't exactly the greatest role model anyway, so I harbor a lot of resentment towards him over different things that happened in my childhood. He was kind of abusive to me and my mom. Oh shit! It's the first time I've done that, because I've only ever fought these guys with V. The two younger kids, so long haul would just suck. Yeah, that's. Whew. That would be more than rough. Figure out the harder you fall, asshole. Ow. It's good that he's able to come home every day, though. That's because not all jobs like that. You're able to do that, so. Pop! Goes the weasel. Oh, come on. He did tow truck for a while, and he was never home with that job, so this is an improvement. He'll be back home around 1 today, so still a regular shift. That's a 12-hour shift. It's not, that's not horrible. And, from what I understand, truck, or at least they're supposed to make good pay, but still not sure what happened with my dad there. My dad was very skittery on the jobs he took. He was terrible with money as well, so it just was one thing after another with him, basically. And by things, I mean jobs. Can't remember if I actually was able to get up here last time or not, but I'm here now. Yeah, it's not bad and good pay. That's good. In this economy, you need a job with good pay to be able to support a family and 2 kids and all that. I looked at the numbers, and adjusting for inflation, it's based off miles, so as long as you drive, you make money.
Good.
It works for a flower plant, so they always have 2 or 3 loads a day. That's good.
About that tape.
Like, I was looking at the numbers, and adjusting for inflation, if you took the minimum wage from 1970 and adjusted it for today's economy, the minimum wage would currently be around $25 to $30 per hour.
There's no such thing as too prepared.
It's numbers like that that really open up your eyes and be like, oh yeah, things are a little iffy. I don't like buying these, but upgrades are upgrades. Although I probably won't get too many more after that, because they just got crazy expensive. Definitely, this economy sucks ass, and I stay home with my kids because I'm not going to work just to pay after-school care. I'd rather raise my own kids. That makes sense. Like back in 1970, a part-time job could pay off like the entirety of college and a house, which is what my grandparents did. A part-time job could do that. Now, me growing up in this economy, that is unfathomable to me. Like for me, a part-time job will barely make enough to get like a game or two a week. Like, and even then, you're not gonna have a lot left. Of course, I'm obviously not buying a game or two a week, but still, like, you get the point. Like it's barely spending cash, much less being able to live a life off of it. And it's not like we're talking about like some other foreign country. Like, this was America. This was America. We were at that kind of point at one point in time, and we could do it. And now we're stuck in this economy where a part-time job, the minimum wage, there was recently a study done across the nation
Think it's good to be king,
of
huh? Not for much longer.
like, what does minimum wage actually cover? And they compared it to the cost of living in most the cost of living in most locations, and the cost of living is minimum wage cannot support rent anywhere. Just anywhere. You would have to work at least 2 jobs to support rent on minimum wage. Minimum wage, the definition used to be the minimum amount of money for a single person, I believe. It was either a single person or a family. I'm not exactly sure. But it was the amount of money that was needed to live a life. Like, that was needed to cover the cost of living. And it's not anymore. Daycare is $1,000 per month per kid for summers, and $275 a month per kid for after school. Part-time jobs won't cover that, and that's cheap daycare, not the ones you'd actually want your kids. Exactly. Like, not to mention the cost of rent these days, the cost of living, basically. I can't remember. I'm supposed to lose this one again, aren't I? This is the second one that I'm supposed to lose, I believe. Here, let's see what happens, and if I lose, I will just... or if, like, I actually lose and die, I'll just restart the checkpoint. But I think I'm supposed to lose this again. Oh. Yeah, I guess I actually am supposed to fight. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. I thought that was the second one I was supposed to lose. But I guess not. I think that one's one I'm supposed to fight until a certain amount of time, I think. But yeah, bottom line, minimum wage doesn't cut it anymore. Hey, Savage! We're just having a nice discussion about the current state of our economy while I play through New Game Plus of DM Devil May Cry 5. Because I love this game and I wanted to play more of it, and it's fun. Yeah, you're in my buddy group this week. That is awesome. Do we have a group chat yet? Because I don't think I got an invitation if we do. If not, you should probably set one up. But I have a family that can help. They're all drug addicts or alcoholics. The rest work themselves. I don't know how people do it. I'm 33, so if I haven't figured it out now, I don't think I will. Right? It's like... like, people look at the minimum wage, and they're like...
Think it's good to be king, huh?
Well, like, and then the problem with raising the minimum wage is also, like, you know, tax inflation just increases up with it. It's... I'm gonna start a group chat right now. Had a lot of stuff to do today and finally had some downtime, so I'm gonna use set up and get everyone together. Awesome. Thank you so much, Savage. That will definitely be a big help to all of us. But like, it's not. Like, so there's negatives to both sides, and it's hard to really find what the middle ground balance is. Rules set up to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. Yeah, that's basically how it is, and we're the rest of us who are just kind of living here are just kind of fucked in the process, honestly. I can't tell you the amount of times I've had people mock my generation for being like really whiny about money, quote unquote whiny, when really we're just kind of bringing up facts of, hey, we can't really afford anything, like, at all, because the economy isn't what it used to be. And I have a couple ideas on how to fix all that, but I think best thing we can do is focus on voting for policies that would improve the state of living. But that's a whole political thing. Granted, I could have helped myself out and went to college and made something of myself, but I couldn't justify that kind of debt at any range. I still can't today. Well, and then the thing with, like, college is set up so that you'll be in debt, honestly. That's what it is. I am currently so deep in debt that it is not even funny. Holy shit. Ow. Oh, I remember what I'm supposed to do here. My boss is the crystal. I've just got to destroy it. Okay. It's a good thing I grabbed that gold orb. Ah, God. But yeah, I like having discussions about that, because I feel like these kind of topics should be... Topics like this should be talked about. And Oh my god. And if we don't talk about the topics, then they'll just go unheard by a lot of the populace. There was a poll done in 2016 about, like, how many people actually know what they're voting for. Hardly anyone did. And it was kind of shocking. 2016 really shifted a lot of the political scales, the political climate. What the hell? Oh my god. I have a cousin who's a doctor. He literally just got out of residency and is working, but is 1 million in debt. It just blows my mind. I pay for everything I have with cash. I don't get loans, credit cards, etc. Because fuck owing someone else for something they can take away or ends up being useless. I agree with all of that, except for credit cards. I feel like as long as you buy really small things with credit cards and build credit by paying those small things off, only pay what you can pay. Don't spend over with a credit card, because that's how you fuck yourself. But pay small amounts that you know you can pay back for certain. And you can build credit, then that will allow you more opportunities. Aside from that, like that whole system is rigged, so you just kind of have to play along with it. But aside from that, like, yeah, all of that, it's like, loans are stupid. My dad relied way too much on loans. My dad sold titles and stuff like that, or loan titles. Like, you have to be really smart with your money in this economy, or else you will get fucked horribly. And you'll end up like my dad, who had to file multiple times for bankruptcy. You have to be really smart with what you're using and how you're using it. Ow. Is this when I'm supposed to lose? I think this might be when I'm supposed to lose. But I don't want to take the chance. Ow. Just in case I'm not actually supposed to lose here. Because I can still damage this thing. Oh god. Nope, that's not good. That's not what I wanted. Oh god, oh god. Tried to back off of it, but did not get enough of a chance. Okay, I think, yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to lose that. These cutscenes are amazing. This makes a lot more sense in the actual game, but watching this is just ridiculous. Yeah, honestly, a couple Doom streams ago, on Slurpaglurp's channel, we ended up having like an hour-long discussion about different sorts of socio-political issues and the economy. And it was actually it was a very, like, good discussion. It wasn't like nasty or anything. And we ended up talking a long time about a lot of like really good topics. And we got a bunch of different viewpoints, and it was like a good conversation. Yeah, you were there for it. Yeah, it was really, really good. Also, if anyone's watching and they haven't checked out Mr. Slurpaglurp, that would be twitch.tv/SLURPAGLURP. Great guy. Very fun. Very smart. Doesn't seem like it at first, but that dude is fucking brilliant. This is really weird because Morrison is usually black. I know they were just grabbing people probably from around the office that had like vague acting experience. He's usually basically a Morgan Freeman kind of type, but seeing him here played by a middle-aged Asian man is interesting. Yeah, it was very productive. Like I was shocked with how productive it actually ended up being. It's good to have conversation with people who don't act like babies because someone doesn't agree with their point of view and actually learning and teaching. Yeah, like I'm perfectly fine disagreeing with someone. Like I will have a long not really argument, but like I'll have a long conversation with somebody. And like might get a little energized, but like I only like the moment that I stop liking disagreeing with someone is the minute they become an asshole about it. Like, well, we had a moment a couple days ago in one of our previous streams where I was fine disagreeing with the guy, but then he kind of became a jerk about it, and he had to get out. But like I'm perfectly fine disagreeing with someone. I have a friend that I constantly have debates with over like different social issues and political issues, and like we have good discussions about it, and we don't always agree. We definitely don't, because like we come from different sides of the aisle. Does that mean we can't just sit down and have a conversation about it and maybe like learn why each other feels the way that we do? No, and I love conversations like that. And but like the minute someone starts like getting aggressive with it, or mocking, or acting like they know more so they're automatically better, like that's when I start having problems. But yeah, I love conversations like where you get to actually learn from the other person.
そいつは楽しめんだろうな。もちろん。その悪魔はお前の戦う理由そのものだからな。その悪魔の名は
Same thing I always say. Government like the people being divided because we can't rise up and make them do what they are supposed to do because everyone is too busy arguing with each other. Exactly. And we see exactly that from the 2016 election, where basically it was two very petty sides going to war against each other, and one petty little jab after the other, and over and over and over and over again. And it ended up like, basically in the confusion, we got the worst two people onto the front, like the front steps there, on the front lines of it all, because we were too busy arguing with each other and then voting for one or the other out of spite. Like, the amount of people that, like, I saw voted for Trump because, like, they just wanted to piss some people off was sickening. It's like, vote for the person on either side who truly follows your beliefs. Don't just vote out of pettiness or spite. And we saw a lot of that happen in this past election on either side. That's why I like to say I'm just left of center. I don't really like to take a side, but socially I am pretty liberal. But I will call either side out on their bullshit because there's plenty of it to go around. Yeah, I'll grab that one. Yeah, they spread hate, race, just so that they can do what they want. Exactly. Like we had good other candidates that ended up just kind of falling to the wayside because there was such a petty war against Hillary and Trump. And so those were the two that got the spotlight. And all of the other candidates just kind of fell to the wayside. All of the better candidates fell to the wayside. I have no trust for any of them. They're all dirty because most humans are. They're all out for themselves because most humans are. So I can't trust them off their words. I gotta see action. Exactly. There are two things that I really respect out of certain candidates, or things I look for. One, a devotion to what they've been saying. One of the things, like, regardless of the rest of his views. That's one of the things I really liked about Sanders, was the fact that he's been preaching the same exact thing since he first started in office. Like, he's been preaching for the same stuff since he started. I can respect that because in politics, a lot of people go, like, flip-flop like crazy back and forth. A lot. Another thing I like is people who don't just say that they're gonna do something, but they actually do it. Like, and I don't mean in the build a wall sense. I mean, like, as in, hey, that was one of the things on the other side of the aisle that I really respected Mitt Romney for, which was the fact that he said that he would fix Massachusetts' economy for a while, and for a while he did. Like, he had a good plan set up for that. Like, I like people who can carry out good plans. And that's two of the big things that I look for in candidates, as well as following my own policies, or my my own viewpoints, is dedication to what they say, and a willingness to carry it out. Like, basically, I have to find a candidate that's trustworthy, or else I'm not going to trust him. That's basically the bottom line there. Hope this isn't getting overly political for anybody. But, I don't know, I feel like these kind of things need to be addressed. In one way or another. And if we're not using our platforms to talk about important issues, then what are we even doing? I like to be entertaining and informative. Whether it be informing people on the lore of an awesome video game, or informative on serious topics that are affecting all of us. Oh god. Ah! Need to follow it more. Same thing I told Glurp, I have no idea where to find the information, make good choices, because the news is all lies and BS. Not all of it. There are some nonpartisan fact news sources that dedicate themselves to just the facts, and might throw in an opinion every once in a while, or they'll like. That's part of why I like the YouTuber Philip DeFranco a lot, because yeah, his own opinions are very clearly to the left, but before he gives his own opinion on anything, he'll lay out the facts. He's like, here's the facts. He gives out everything from various different sources from both the right and the left, and then he's like, my own personal take on it is, and then he'll give that, and he'll say, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments. And he opens up basically a debate in his comment section of, like, it's basically an open forum for people of both sides to speak on issues. His whole thing is about them being well informed. So good journalism is still out there. It's just very hard to find these days. But yeah, definitely get involved. Learn about laws, learn about the candidates. Learn as much as you can before basically every election, because it affects us all, and it's a lot of stuff that, like, the thing that gets people, oh yeah, I think I'd mentioned it in Slurp's chat as well. Philip DeFranco, spelt just like it sounds. He's a pretty big YouTuber too, so he won't be too hard to find. Okay. Yeah, and honestly, I think that's probably one of the best things that the 2016 elections did, was it got a lot of people, like, saying, like, a lot of younger people saying, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. And they did their own research, and now we have a lot more informed people of younger generations than we have in previous history ever. We saw, in this past midterm election, the highest voter turnout of, like, 18 to 20-year-olds that we'd seen in, I think, decades, if not ever. And honestly, the picks for who made it into Congress reflects that a lot. Like, we had a lot of very well-informed young people who not only were voting, but who made it into Congress themselves. A lot of very diverse people making it into Congress. And I honestly feel like Congress should be full of people like that. Because the people who have been in there for decades, long past any term limit should be, because there are no term limits for Congress, like, those are the people that shouldn't be there anymore. Because they're completely disconnected from the issues that the young people are facing today, and from the issues that will affect the world in the future. Ow. I love the meteor one. It's always so satisfying watching that. But yeah, and we get people passionate on, honestly, a lot of people in the center. Like it's not just like extreme left or extreme right. Of course, we do have plenty of those people, but we have a lot of young people that are now in the center, becoming well informed on these topics. Not just listening to every single little thing they read or see on Facebook. Yeah, exactly. Congress is a joke because they've been there so long, their decrepit old asses don't relate to the world anymore. That's exactly the sentiment that I'm saying. That's like... Like, we have people in Congress that just don't... Their issues... like, the issues that they faced are no longer really relevant. Sheep, lots of sheep, yeah. The amount of people that just blindly follow one side or the other just because they either line up with their political parties or because they like one over the other for some reason. Not for any particular reason, it's just like, oh, I like this one. It's like, you want to do any research on that? Or want to talk about it? Words. But yeah, and then if you look at like the issues that or like if you look at like the salaries and the healthcare that the people of Congress get, it's not the issues and the healthcare that the rest of America gets. They get a completely separate system. They don't even know really what's going on with the American people at this point. They're in their own world. And you get people who have been in there for decades. And Imagine how disconnected you become after decades of not even being part of... After not even being part of, like, the issues that are currently plaguing society. Meanwhile, we just got a lot of young people in Congress who literally grew up in bad times. They know the situations that the rest of us are going through. And it really works out. Sorry if I'm ranting way too long. Society, they aren't part of society anymore. Exactly. Their society is not our society. Not anymore. Used to be. Used to be, but it's not anymore. And we need people who know that and can reflect that in Congress. That's why I am all for term limits. Because people stay in for way too long.
Now, get to work.
I'm trying to shoot this thing. And it's very, very particular in the way I have to shoot this thing. I have to hit this red blob in the back here. What? Griffon? There we go. Aim for thing. Hit thing. Now you're good. Always good to see that there's still hope for people because there's still people that'll talk and take the time to learn and educate. Like I said, if I'm not using my platform to entertain and inform, then I'm using it poorly. Because I've got people that watch me, and I can help inform people on topics that they might not know about. Maybe help guide them in a direction that will help them get more informed. And I'm not taking sides here. You can be on one side of the aisle or the other, and that's perfectly fine with me. I just want everyone to be informed, and if I could single-handedly fix the country's moral compass, I would. But I can't. I can only do it a little bit at a time. By helping teach people about these topics. Yes! Finally found the sweet spot. And that's like 2 out of 4, I think. Still a little ways from accomplishing my goal, but it's good enough. Oh, hello. Where? Aha. Eliminate all the demons in 20 seconds or less. Sure, let's try it. Hey, it's more than some of us are doing. I mean, if I'm given this kind of platform, which I didn't even think I would be able to reach even this many people. I didn't think anyone would even be watching me, much less like actually enjoying my stuff and enjoying my content that I make. But if I'm not making the most of this incredible platform that I've been given, then I feel like I'm wasting. I've wanted to become an actor. I've been doing acting work, and I always kind of figured that if I ever got to the point where I can be like influential in any way, or people will want to listen to me, like I'm definitely going to be very open about things like my mental health and my political views, because I feel like that's if we don't have a voice in times like these, then, and if we don't speak up in times like these, then we're wasting our platforms. That's why I always get pissed off when people are like, why are entertainers talking about politics? It's like, because they got the platform to do it. They got the influence to talk to people. Now, whether or not their politics are sound, that's up to the people to decide. But like, if they didn't do anything, they'd be wasting their chance. Like, I've always had a strong resentment against that statement of how people are like, oh, why can't they just stick to music or just stick to acting? It's because, no, they have a platform in front of millions of people to say, hey, like, this is how I feel about this. And that's more of a platform than most of America have. And if you don't have an opinion or a voice in this political climate, you're practically dead in the water.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But the past is a bitter place for me.
Ooh. Listening to this dialogue, knowing the story behind this. Ooh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And, like, the hints are all here, it's just, I just never put it together. Huh. I like games that'll do that. I can't get over there. But I think it's really good, whether you agree or disagree with anything I've said. It's good to have a healthy conversation about it, and not just become hateful in it, because that's how we get a divide. That's how we get a separation. I had an incident happen recently with my aunt. She was on Facebook, and, like, she had posted some stuff about, like, basically saying that people with my particular viewpoint are evil and demonic, basically. They were against God. Which, again, if you're using religion as a basis for all political beliefs, it's like, that's not really a valid. Again, that's just being uninformed. Like, I don't think the Bible has much to say about our current fiscal climate. Aside from, hey, don't be stupid with your money. That's in the Bible. Do people follow it? No. But that's a bipartisan issue. Or I should say a non-partisan issue, because, again, there's not just two parties. But, so she had made that kind of comment, and it had affected me, and I didn't think she realized that it had affected me. And it created this whole, like, divide, because she had just been throwing out petty jabs without any sort of knowledge or anything. And it hurt that a family member was doing that, but at the same time, like, that's unfortunately what not being informed in this political climate will do.
Quite possibly. He has no reason to keep Dante alive.
But again, just my take. I believe in God and know that He was there to help us live better lives. He's not going to fix our problems like that. We got to be informed and fix it ourselves. Exactly. I fall into a really weird segment of people. I am a liberal Christian. I don't really let that influence my other parts of life. Of course, again, I am liberal centrist. He is there, no, okay, yeah. But, like, again, also, I don't really have very fundamentalist beliefs either, but that's, again, a whole other thing for a whole other time. Oh shit, I died.
Sure.
But religion will not fix a lot of the issues that we're currently having in our political climate. In fact, it'll do the exact opposite. It'll create more issues. But like I said, I like to keep the conversation going. I don't really want to, crap. Like, I don't want to cause any divides between people, but if you...
Nero might just be able to defeat him.
If you, like, make petty jabs at people, and you kind of mock people for what they believe... never mock. Even if you disagree, and even if their beliefs are completely unfounded, like, don't mock. Inform. I don't go to church. I haven't read the whole Bible, but I love God. But I'm not gonna take one quote out of context to make it fit what I want it to fit, to make it right either. Yeah, it's like, honestly, most of the people who, or if people would follow the Bible as much as they say they did, there's an entire part about not using your beliefs and not using God to attain personal goals. And not using God as an excuse. Like, there's a whole segment about that. And apparently that's a segment that a lot of people like to forget. But yeah, never mock, inform. Because it'll only make enemies, and the last thing we want to do in a climate like this is make enemies. We want to unite the nation, not divide it. Ooh, I love that meteor. world's honestly a scary place right now, and hope we as the people can come together and fix it. Exactly. Like, the world right now is absolutely terrifying. We are not in a good place whatsoever on either side of the aisle. These issues are affecting everybody. And there's a lot of, unfortunately, uninformed people that just need to be informed on topics such as laws being passed, or like what is really the the people you're voting for, what they really believe.
Much left to do.
Or what's the past of people you're voting for? Have they always had these beliefs? And yes, people can change, but how often have they changed it? It is, and I have kids in it, it scares the fuck out of me for them. Yeah, it's like, as much as people like to discredit kids these days, kids are going to be the future of the world. The generation after me is going to be the generation that inherits this place. So it's up to our job. Or that inherits this place after my generation inherits it. So it's our job as people, to help form the groundwork of a way to not only inform ourselves, but to inform our kids, but also inform ourselves, so that more of us can inform the next generation, and so on and so forth. And that means constantly staying up to date and informed on how things are changing, how society is changing, how politics in general are changing.
Check and see if it still works.
Let's see. I've got a gold orb.
This presence. It's the Devil Sword Sparta.
Yeah, it's just these guys. It's not really a boss per se.
魔剣スパーダを崇めてるのか。よくわかんねえやつだな。
Oh. And yeah, I have my beliefs, and everyone has their own stuff. I'm not going to force anyone to believe what I think. I just ask for everyone to be informed on the facts. Not the partisan facts, but the actual facts. The amount of times that I've seen people see something once on Facebook without any sort of proof, and our generation has been getting better with this, but like the older generations are still kind of struggling with it. Just from what I've observed, is the fact that they believe a lot of what they immediately read on social media, and without any sort of founding or basis or whatever. And it's those kind of people that, like, people on the extreme sides like to prey on. Not gonna lie, I've talked shit about the younger generation, but the more I meet on different platforms instead of them talk, it's actually reassuring. I feel bad I was quick to judge them so fast. I'll admit I also was very judgmental of, like, I was judgmental of my own generation. like I was like, oh my god, kids these days, like, when I was still a kid these days. Oh god. yeah, just people just need to stay informed, and not just informed by what their friends think is information, like, but by actually doing research on it. Like, on basically any political situation, look at what the pros and cons are going to be. Like, on either side of the aisle. Like, what are going to be the pros and cons of signing X, Y, and Z into place? Or doing one thing or the other. Because that's how you get informed, and that's how you... I've been harping on the same message for a while now. It's probably getting annoying, but... You just gotta keep going. We gotta make it, the first step to making a healthy environment is knowing what the problem is and fixing it. And the same exact thing in politics. I have a nephew your age, and him and his friends, like, I was seriously worried. Love him, but please don't tell me all kids are like this. Like, that was what you were thinking? Yeah. But like watching, or not watching, but like, it's really easy to like be like, oh god, these kids making stupid vines and doing Fortnite dances and looking up to Ninja. Like, it's very easy to be like, you know, it's not exactly you know, the best, they just have no care for what's going on around them. Yeah, but at the same time, kids don't really change, though. Like, my generation was like that, except we just did it outside, and we got hurt a lot. And same with the generation before me. We just have social media now, so it's more broadcasted. But, like, ironically, these generations that just look like they're doing horribly are actually some of the most informed politically generations we've had in generations. Because of social media, and because of an ease of access to fucking action figure. An ease of access to news and do stuff. Thank God I didn't use social media when I was 20. Exactly. People don't really like behaviors haven't really changed. It's just gotten more publicized. Like, the amount of stupid things I did as a kid outside, like, if I had social media, I'd be like, well, social media did exist at the time, it just wasn't available to me. Like, one of my favorite things is seeing black and white World War II pictures of black and white World War II pictures of, like, a dude looking like an artillery cannon was a giant dick. Like, like, people don't really change. um, but yeah, it's just I'm glad that we have this kind of information available to us, and we're able to oh my god, this is like a really big emotional scene, and this looks so stupid. And it's just gonna get worse the longer this game goes on.
パーシルを探しに行かないと必ず戻るから。
Lines my life would have made.
でも
Exactly,
戻
like
らなかった時は
the only thing that changes with generations is
そうして名前を変えて
honestly the
ちゃんと
politics.
生きてきなさい。
But we haven't been as informed as we have been as of recent. And information is power. No matter where you look, no matter what aspect you're in, information is always power. And it's looking at least half decent for our generation and the next. Because we're starting to get better at spotting out bullshit.
6月15日だ。ってことは1ヶ月近くも寝てたってわけだ。どうりで体が硬いはずだぜ。エロの小僧がユリゼンの元に向かってる。てめえも急げたんで、あの小僧がユリゼンの。ネロを巻き込むんじゃねえ。こいつは俺の仕事だ。お前がユリゼンに勝てるならば、俺だってあんなことに頼りはしなかった。
Yeah, it's I think that's. But imagine now, when I was young, the internet wasn't a thing. My parents didn't have that, so the only information they could get is what was given to them. So now we have this huge thing. We can pretty much find everything we set our minds to, and that also ties into like the mindset thing that I was talking about earlier, where a lot of the older generations will just kind of believe anything that their friends throw in front of them, without much like research into it, because that's how they've been getting information their entire lives. Meanwhile, my generation and the generation like after me, like this like we've gotten used to getting our information on a place where we can look up more information and not just believe what's directly given to us. The internet has changed the game drastically. And by the way, I'm not just pulling it out of my ass, the fact that like we the fact the dude playing the bird is very distracting, right? He's easily the best thing. Live action Griffon is best Griffon. It's ridiculous how just like jarring it is. But like I'm not just pulling it out of my ass, the fact that I'm like saying like, oh, this generation is the most informed. No, there's actually been polls done of different generations of like who from each of these generations knows the most about what's currently going on in the political scale. One of the biggest numbers being the voter turnout of 18 to 21-year-olds in this last midterm, which was higher than decades of previous voter turnouts. It's
That guy really do
I keep repeating the same stuff over and over again. It's probably getting hella annoying, but I don't know, I feel like it's important stuff that we don't really talk about much, so. Alright, so this is what I learned about... Wait, here we go. About this. This is how I use this version of the Cavalier, which is a lot faster and a lot more versatile, and the Cavalier gives me armor when I'm using this, so... which I didn't realize. That works. Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I'll admit I have no clue. I want to catch up and learn, but it's hard to find where to start. And I ask a lot of people where they go, and I'll look and see if I like it. Yeah, like... best way to look for a place? Look for one that calls both sides out on their bullshit. Frequently. Not just, like, occasionally. Because if the bullshit's thick enough, even the people in it are gonna notice. Like... and also, they look... they know that a lot of people are starting to become this kind of informed, so they will, they'll make it look like they're, for lack of a better term, fair and balanced. But in reality, they are not. Like, stay the hell away from Fox News and CNN, because CNN is just the Democratic version of Fox News. And Fox News is full of the bullshit. Try to find people in the middle, because they're the ones that will definitely make a difference. And you'll start actually learning things. Like, my grandparents watch Fox News, and whenever it's on, I can hardly stomach, like a couple minutes of it before I'm like, well, that's not exactly how that happened, that's kind of bullshit, yeah, that's kind of being spun in a crazy direction, and I'm about sick of this now. Like, modern biased media spins more than a fucking merry-go-round. My dad lives off Fox. I swear I hate it. It's ridiculous, just spreading fear and hate. Honestly. And it's not helping anyone except for Fox News, who's getting the news, or getting the ratings off of people who honestly just don't know any better. And I don't have anyone... I honestly feel sorry for the people who watch that kind of shit on a regular basis, because it's... like, I don't have anything against those people, but I'm just sad that that's all that they're getting. Because that is not the full story. And they deserve to be informed. Don't just, like, if you do, hate to you, but my kids will be up in a few hours, so you gotta get some sleep. Hey, no problem. I was just gonna say, as like kind of a final note, like if you do watch something like that, never take it at face value. Never take it at face value. Always oh shit. That's new. Always look it up yourself. Scared that's the info they're getting. Yeah, it's scary. Uninformed people are scary. But they can be informed. That's basically my entire point. I've gone on like an hour rant about politics at this point. But I'm glad to have this kind of discussion because I feel like it needs to happen. And if people don't like me because of that, then just because I'm not able to do, yeah, that wasn't directed at you. Words. Yeah, and if people don't like me anymore because of my views, I'm sorry, but I feel like I have the platform, I need to use it. I don't think I've said anything too controversial. Spin me right round. Funny enough. Yeah, this shit definitely needs to be talked about. I know a lot of streamers don't like to keep politics in their stuff, but I don't know. These kind of discussions need to happen at some point. And if not now, then when? Yeah, I don't think I said anything controversial, but who knows, maybe a couple years from now when people are watching back on the YouTube video, they'll be like, well, what about this and this? And like, but who knows? I don't think I've said anything too controversial. Basically, just stay informed no matter what side you're on. But yeah, that's about all I have to say on that matter because I keep going in circles.
Nothing's gonna
Oh shit.
close if I don't hurry.
Cavalier. Now that I know how to use this thing, is crazy powerful. Hope you had a good rest of your stream. I'm sure I'll catch you next time. Next time's honestly probably gonna be tomorrow. Because I love this game so much that I can hardly put it down, so I'm gonna be playing this for a while. I've been streaming it multiple times a day just because I want to play more. But yeah, hope you have a good night. Hope everything with the kids goes well. And yeah, you get some rest. Hope to see you again soon. I'm probably gonna call the stream after this level. Oh god, if I even make it through this level. Oh my god, this guy keeps going out of existence as soon as I try to hit him. Oh god, oh fuck. Okay, I think that's the first time I've died in this level, so yeah, it's only 7,000 for this one. That isn't the holy water one. This will be good as long as I sleep past 6. Alright. Good night, Les. You have a good time. Damn it. Yeah, I lost that one. Lost the extra stuff, but honestly I'm getting enough of my normal stuff that doesn't really shouldn't really impact my gameplay too far off. Get over here. Little asshole, get back here. Broom, broom. There we go. I'm glad I finally learned how to use the Cavalier by watching, I watched Sphere Hunter do, well, I watched part of her review. I'm still like halfway into it when I started my stream. But I watched part of her review for this game after I had played it through. And she had mentioned with the Cavalier and with the Swordmaster style, you get to ride it and it becomes like a much more versatile weapon. And I was like, oh, huh, I guess I'd never actually tried that. Because I was wondering, like, how the hell do you get to ride this thing? Because I saw him doing it in the trailers, but I haven't been able to do it myself. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's how I get to ride this thing. And the weapon is a lot faster than I give it credit for now. Than I originally gave it credit for. It is fun. There we go. Supercharge. I love this Sin Demon version. Ow, hey. Hit me while I was recovering, asshole. That is awesome. Oh shit. Yes. Alright. Get some extra bonus stuff. That wasn't it, is it? No. Did not think so. So I think that was it. Come on, there we go. You know, I'm kind of sad. There's not very many people playing this on YouTube, and I was kind of hoping for some more.
Man, they're already here. These ladies work fast.
I was kind of hoping for some more playthroughs on this from some people I like. But some of them just haven't gotten to it yet. They're still on like 4 while they're playing through the series. And some of them just never haven't touched it, so I don't know what's going on there, but ow. Yeah, honestly, this might be my new hard mode main weapon, because it does a lot of damage in very large, wide strokes. That was badass. This game just basically became Kamen Rider. And I love it. This game just like there's so many badass moments that are naturally badass just because the game itself is badass. It's not like it's trying to force down your throat like this is badass. It's like, oh, you did all of that and like comboed 15 different moves and ended it super cool. Cool. Oh yeah, I didn't finish this one in time last time. So maybe maybe now. Oh shit. I could shoot that back at him? Did not know I could do that. Damn it. Probably shouldn't have activated that at this exact moment, but it's something I did. Come on. Is that all of them? Is that all of them? Please. Nope. Of course not. Oh god, yeah, I'm not gonna get those doors. You know, since there's 3 playthroughs, I might end up, after doing the hard mode, going back and doing easy mode. Just to see how much I can dominate and how many extra little things I can find. I hate this one that disappears all over the place. Oh god. I hit him real hard with that. It's just so cool to like end something and have the final scene be Dante riding a motorcycle. Unless you're DMC2. Honestly, even then, that was probably the coolest part of the game. Dante jumping into hell on a fucking motorcycle. Oh god. I just realized these things have teeth on it, and that makes it like 10 times more disturbing for some reason. Oh shit, there was just a gold orb just sitting here this whole time? I just barely caught a glimpse of like those red orbs there, and I was like, I'll grab that. And then, oh, there was a gold orb there this entire time. Cool. Glad I missed that. Not. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. I'm supposed to go straight up at that point. Broom, broom.
Yeah, getting close. I can feel them.
Holy shit. There's 3 of these guys? I'm basically fighting this boss all over again. Oh god. And this is how you deal with pesky enemies. What, this isn't stylish? Fine. I'll do some things to get more stylish points. Try out some different techniques. I thought it looked pretty stylish, but apparently the game's just like, nah. Nah, it's not cool enough, you know? You gotta vary it up for it to be cool. Big oof. I just grinded that guy's face off. Ow. Asshole. That's how you make it cool. Just broom broom, bitch. I just realized that, you guys can't even really see what ranking I'm getting, but hope that doesn't affect you much. You guys can see when it's flashing gold, I think. So now that I know how to use this... Whoa, that's a cool move. Alright. Completely upgraded the Cavalier. Do I want to shell out for one of these? I'll shell out for a blue orb. I can only buy a certain amount of them over all of the difficulties, so I might as well. Might as well just get as many upgrades as I possibly can, because, like, the only way to get max of the levels on this is to not only unlock them, but to also buy all 5 of the upgrades for both the blue and the purple meters, or for health and the devil trigger meters. So
Feeling it.
might as well. If I've got it, flaunt it. Yeah, no, they really weren't subtle about it being Virgil. But honestly, the giant demon king, we all assumed it was going to be Virgil. That's like no surprise whatsoever. The surprise came with V. That was where the jaws hit the floor. And like the different sorts of revelations that came out of both sides. Ow, ow. Damn it. God damn. Ta-da. What the hell? The live action cutscenes are amazing to behold. This looks like something you would find on YouTube. Like, not official whatsoever. And then we know the rest from there. C rank. Thought I did a little bit better than that, but again, the time was probably what killed me there. On that note, been streaming for about 3 hours now. I should probably call it. It's getting a little late, but it's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed discussing topics and getting my takes on everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. You can follow me at Facebook, Twitter, sub to the YouTube channel where all my streams get archived. And you can check out old streams and such there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you around.